Good morning, cuz. How you doing, good brother?
Man, I am terrific, brother. How about you? Man,
Man, I'm terrific too, man. Ain't got a care in the world, bro.
that's a good place to be, Doc.
Yeah, yeah. You got to put yourself in that place. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
know, you
Yes,
got you
sir.
got you got to claim it and just be there.
Man,
If you waiting for
power,
the
brother.
world to put you there, you in trouble,
Yeah, that's a whole topic right there, brother.
man. Yes, sir. Yeah. So we talking Fed now. You know what I'm saying? And where we going? Where America going? You know what I'm saying? With the finances and what's going on in the world. Let's kick it on it.
Cal and Dave Jones are the host of the show. We living in some difficult times, as most of us know. Let's lift each other up and put down the stress. If you didn't know, the name of the show is called Rap.
What's up, man? That's good. I love that we talking about Fed now, man. We about to bring money into the game, like on a
Right.
whole another level, dog. I'm so happy that you kind of brought this topic up, and I'm interested to see how we're going to approach it. This is a little new for us, but I think
Right.
it's gonna be dope, man. Go ahead, let's get it. Let's get it.
So really, so I have been watching it. You know what I'm saying? I actually was paying attention to this right around the time the Cash App guy got killed. You know, and I actually, yeah, I actually thought that the government had something to do with that. I'm like, man, they knocked this guy off because they want to take over the, you know what I'm saying, his business, you know.
Hmm.
But then come to find out, they actually found out who killed him. So I was like, wow, cool. You know what I'm saying? Because my
Mhm.
mind, you know, I'm an overly paranoid type of guy anyway. So I always think outside the box, be thinking crazy stuff. So,
Right,
you know,
right,
but at least I'm in tune with myself. I know who and what I am. But
right.
yeah, so they found, you know, actually somebody that worked for him that killed him. Did you see that?
No, I didn't follow that.
Yeah, one of the actual people that was you know, worked inside the Cash App killed him, you know.
Did they say did they have motive for it? They just said it was just an inside thing.
No, it was just somebody, you know, I didn't read
Hating
into
on.
it. I just seen the topic say that they got the killer and it was somebody that actually worked for him. And I
Wow.
was just like, wow, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, so I was thinking like, you know, maybe they was trying to get rid of him because they was about to launch this Fed now and they wanted to take total control of how the money move and you know what I'm
Mm.
saying, make sure they was watching all the money move. But that's still something that's about to go on. So, I know you looked into it a little bit after I told you about it. So what you think from the research you done?
Right. Well, let's first get some perspective. Like, this is Rap's ability to respond as people should, and obviously want to entertain different areas, not only just transformational mindset and how we should act within society, but also how what is important to us is how money moves. And I think it's very important for us to increase our financial literacy to not just allow the earth or it's how it operates to happen to us, but to get more involved and to find our space to know how to navigate financially. And so when you brought it up, I did a little more research of the FedNow, which is an application basically that allows you to use a digital currency, which is the same exact thing as a Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? It's allowing you to move currency that is monitored differently. It's for instant payment, right?
Like
And
Cash App,
like a cash app. It's said to be like a cash,
Zelle,
right?
Zelle,
Well,
Chime.
yes, well, it's definitely like Cash App, Zelle, and Chime, but it also will contain the element of you could track it more, you know what I'm saying, differently as similar to a coin, right?
Right,
And we'll get into that at another time. But so what you're moving from is Zelle, Cash App, all these different things are what you call decentralized currencies,
right,
meaning they're not controlled by the Federal Reserve, which is a centralized currency
right,
that dictates how money moves. So when all of our money is potentially brought over to this payment processing system, that means we're giving them more access to how we move money.
right. Which is
But
opening the door for them to be in your mix more. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Monitor
Mhm.
your money.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Those of us that, you know what I'm saying, that may be out here not, you know what I'm saying, so much moving their money on a legit side or, you know what I'm saying, taking in a lot of cash, not trying to be accounted for, you know, showing a lot of their transaction, all that stuff is basically going to be done away with. You know what I'm saying? They're going to put you in a position where either you're going to have to find a hard way to move that money into something legitimate and it's going to be hard to try to move a lot of cash money and hide the money you bringing in for those that's trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be more cases of money laundering and different things like that coming up with them moving towards this. And I think, I think that's what they're trying to do, just being a more sort of control, like a lot of these other countries been doing, you know what I'm saying, controlling their people by controlling their finances.
Right. And so you're referring to like more communist or socialist forms of government.
Right.
Where we're in these type of government styles. So like we're in America, we're identified as a capitalistic society. So basically it's about capital, how money move, individuality, you could create things of that nature. And those are the freedoms that benefit us here in America. Where you go to other countries that are more communist, root word about the community or about socially, how everything moves. They control everything to see how the money should move and how it should operate. And they dictate how you spend your money. Where you can get over and have so much more. The money moves how they want it to move.
Right. And I think ultimately, because of the way America has had, because America is one of the few countries in the world where you can be born broke and become rich. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Most other countries, if you either born into money or you're gonna be poor your whole life. Mm-hmm. And America is one of the few places that you can actually, become somebody wealthy. You know what I'm saying? If you wasn't born into it. But with that being said, now I feel like this is another way for them to be able to, differentiate, separate basically the rich from the poor. You know what I'm saying? And if you either got it or you don't, and if you don't have it, all those get rich quick schemes, all that type of stuff about to go out the window if you don't have your affairs in order with something legitimate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's a lot of implications here, that makes us help us to be aware of this financial literacy. I think that this causes us to turn our ear up to how we move money, because in this world or in America, if you're going to take advantage of how money moves, there's always a system of how to maneuver. And if you just follow it, and if you don't know the system of how to maneuver and make your money flow, then you'll be subject to what government control is doing to you and your resources, which will further increase the financial gap. So, we have financial classes, right? There is the upper, middle, and lower class, and they're trying to eliminate the middle class, which is the competent people who may take advantage of a little bit of both ways. Where there you have the lower class, when we're talking financially, pretty much just kind of let a welfare mentality, let the world happen, totally dependent on employment and things of that nature. And you're subject to whatever rules or things are dictated to you. And that's why you hopefully lean on the government relative to creating laws. But if you're not even help shift the way laws are moving, then whatever happens, you just take it and run with it. And it's not always beneficial or profitable to you. And that's a negative way to think about, or a negative way to respond to us being good stewards over the money that we possess.
Right.
So this is really a big deal. You can jump in, bro.
No. So what I was gonna say is this is a time where I think a lot of us need to really buckle down and pay attention to our spending and make sure that we making all the right moves and not, being frivolous with the money, because you really got to put yourself in a position where you got a consistent income that can potentially put you in a position where you got people working for you and you on the upswing, versus, being in a position where money is just being sucking away from you. You know what I'm saying? Taking and you spend it because you need to be in a position where you can put more money up and you become, a provider of opportunity versus a person that's working for somebody. Because right now, either you're going to create finance, or like you said, you're going to fall in a position where you're going to become a worker.
That's really good. I think that's the bigger meaning of here. Just to go back to that Federal Reserve app of its digital currency, I do want to say, and I'm glad we had this conversation, that it's not mandating that all money be transferred to it. So in other words, you know what I'm saying? There's still opportunity for you to have decentralized movement of money, so you to maneuver it however you've been maneuvering it to take advantage of growing your company or your business or your resources. So now before like I say, if there's a conspiracy or we looking at the attempt of the Federal Reserve, and I have something to say about that too, how they want to potentially control how money is moved, you have time to maneuver and create opportunity for yourself before the control potentially shifts over. Right now, it's just introduced as an option, just like Cash App. So it's not a mandate at this moment, but it does, and I'm glad you brought this up, it does cause us to turn our ear up to say, well, if you start here, how could this develop into something where you're controlling the way money totally moves? And we don't want to be stuck in that predicament.
And me, like I say, I'm always a guy that just think outside the box or overthink stuff, paranoid. So my thought process on it is, we all know America in debt. And we all know America trying to pay their way out of debt. But we all know that most people that's in a position to where they're controlling and moving money always somehow find their hand in the cookie jar. So I'm thinking this is going to eliminate a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Being able to watch people that's not doing the stuff they're supposed to do with the money. You know what I'm saying? Watching them from doing crooked stuff. It's also going to put us in a position where a lot of the tax money that's not being paid is going to have to be paid, because they're going to be able to watch how much money you actually making. So all this, you know what I'm saying, all this extra stuff you saying you writing off, they're going to be able to see, what needs to be written off and what doesn't need to be written off. And they're going to see how much money you actually making.
I think we froze here. Let's see if we jump back on. It's like we got to freeze. I'll bring him back in when he gets ready. So bottom line here is for us to, again, increase our financial literacy. The government is actually, he's jumped back on. You good?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was saying, so I just think that it's going to be ultimately a way to, like y'all say, control the money, make sure they get all the tax revenue that's owed to them, so they can use that money to start paying on a lot of this debt that they're not getting the money they're supposed to be getting to pay on it. Because I think, you know what I'm saying, it's a whole another conversation. I don't want to get too far off track, but I think, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of, pressure being put on America to pay a lot of this debt that they owed out, and they don't know where to get the money from. Just like they saying a lot of these countries running away from us, our dollar, saying it's not backed by nothing. So this is a way to make sure they get the money they need, from the people to pay the debt that's owed from America. Yeah, and also, I think it's going to be a lot of pressure put on a lot of situations where they force you to use this app, where they're going to make certain, high dollar transactions, have no option but to use this as a payment option so they can watch the money. That's just, that's just me, in my thought process, I don't want nobody to think, oh, I got proof it, that's just me, because, I think that at the end of the day that, it's been so much mismanagement of money that they need to put the pressure on the people to make sure that they can, fix a lot of this theft they've been doing.
Yeah. There's a quote that I get from Miles Monroe, and says, whatever you mismanage, you lose. And so what that means to me is, if you're not only understanding how to manage your money, but understand how money works, then it's an opportunity for you to lose it, because you'll have society, government, policies, processes kick you out from playing the game if you don't know the rules. So you have to respond with taking a interest in how your money is moving. The money is already, there's an argument that because I'm an economics major, learning how the money flows in and out of the economy. There's already an argument that our money is already being controlled. And we may want to have a discussion about this, but just to pique some of you guys' interest. But a lot of people don't know that already the central banks or the Federal Reserve, first off, is not a government institution. We say federal government,
it's
but
a corporation.
Right, it's a corporation. It's just a bank. It's no different from another bank on the corner
or another business.
But it just put itself in a position that it has autonomy and excludes itself from the actual governmental law. And so why? Because this bank or this group of people, or let's say list of families, right, who actually they are the ones that lend money to America. So when you say the America's in debt, who are they in debt to? I thought it was a rich country. They are in debt to these families. Mm-hmm. And so just that perception alone is mind-boggling, and is enough for you to go out and research what that means. Right. It's really a group of people that control the flow of money in the earth. So when the Federal Reserve right now is increasing the interest rates, that's their own motive to say we want to stop the flow of money moving around in the economy. Right. When they decrease the interest rate, they want to get people to start spending money. So there's already a control with this group of people that are not the government. And somehow we got the perception that they may be all for us, as the imagery of the government means they protect us. Well, first, they're not the government. And so just that information alone makes you raise an eyebrow to this FedNow or this institutions app, which is not like Cash App, right? Even though it performs the same function, they have a different position because they are centralized now, having this particular control of extra money if you choose to use it. So just understanding how money moves around in the economy is something that we should take an interest in if we want money. There's no way that we can say to God, okay, help increase me, help my stewardship of finances, when we don't understand the foundational process, so we can learn how to combat, maneuver, and to navigate, just, you know what I'm saying, learning these laws so that we can take care of ourselves, our family, and those that are come behind us.
Right. Amen.
That's good, Doc?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So pretty much me bringing this topic up is pretty much, you know what I'm saying, because we all feel it. We all see it. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what type of money we bringing in, we can feel the pressure of just feeling like the dollar's not going that far no more. You know what I'm saying? Inflation, everything higher. It seems like more money is going out than coming in. It's a crippling. Everybody feeling it. Everybody talking about it. So with that being said, I think this is a good topic for everybody just to start paying attention to what's going on and not being so frivolous, you know what I'm saying, and get more focused on what it is you're doing, you know what I'm saying, making sure you spending money on your necessities, make sure you're not caught up on, you know, the trendy stuff, you know, spending money where it don't need to be spent, and also make sure you focusing on those businesses, you know, really, you know what I'm saying, tapping into whatever it is that you're trying to do to make money and not being a procrastinator right now. Now is not the time to be scared, and now is not the time not to launch whatever it is that you really, you know what I'm saying, been sincere and trying to do. Now is the time to do it, because if you don't do it now, it's I think it's ultimately a chance you may never be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? So you need to just believe in yourself more now than ever, and really buckle down and, you know, kind of like lay it on the line. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And to give a little people more direction in that, because sometimes we say stuff and our job is to help them, you know, do that a little easier. Is, again, the one thing we say on this podcast is about solving problems. Like if you can figure out what problems that are out there that you have interest in, don't say, man, they should come up with this or they should do that. That is your indication from God that if you got a concern about it, create a solution with your imagination. How do I solve that problem for people? And they will pay you for it. So the way to protect yourself from all of this, whatever the financial system is doing, even though we need to know how it moves, is you got to get cash flow into your life. And that's solving a problem, hopefully at scale, right? And so that's what we all are trying to do. How do we learn how to not just work potentially for somebody else's vision, but how do we identify a problem, solve it for ourselves, and put it in a position where people can pay you to solve that problem. And then you learn how to better manage the resources that come into your house. And so that's where we have to put our attention, guys. And so that's how you got to respond in this economy right now.
Right.
Good.
That's pretty good, man. I should wrap on my end unless you got something else to say, brother.
And this is what I got to say, Doc.
Cal and Dave Jones are the host. Cal and Dave Jones are the host of the show. We living in some difficult times, as most of us know. Let's lift each other up and put down the stress. If you didn't know, the name of the show is called Rap.